Sitting here at Pacific FC's team hotel, joined by their head coach, James Merriman, on the eve of another huge playoff game for your club. James, you've been here before, but how exciting is it to be back in the playoffs again, back with another chance to win a trophy?
Yeah, I think exciting, but I think we're happy, like we're content with getting here because the way our season's gone, it's been an up and down season. There's been a really difficult part through the midway of the season, but to finish the way we finished the last 4 to 6 weeks, to finish really strong, to get some big performances from players in our group, I think we feel good coming into tomorrow night's game.
Certainly haven't taken the easy way
No.
in, but you guys were in a similar position last year where you played that 4-5 game. It was at home, but then you went on to Halifax and you won there. Just what maybe did that experience teach you that can maybe inform this year, and what will it take to maybe take a step extra than you did last year?
Yeah, I think we've got a lot of different experiences over the last few years with players in the team like TMG and Kunle and Sean Young and Josh Hurd and Emil Gazdov. These guys have been through it, whether it be Canadian Championship or CPL playoffs or CONCACAF matches as well. So I think we have enough inside the locker room that have been in big games and through difficult situations, travel, quick turnarounds. We know that if we want to go and try and win a trophy, that we're going to have to, play difficult matches in difficult situations with quick preparations, like this match coming up for us. So we've got a couple of guys with knocks and things like that, but it's mostly mentality. That's what it challenges the most.
You mentioned it there. A few years ago, this was a very young team, but you mentioned a lot of those names now that are kind of CPL veterans, have been through it, have been in some of these knockout games. How have you seen this group kind of evolve since you've been here the whole time? But in just the last few years, a lot of these players have turned into leaders on this team.
I think TMG is an obvious one who's been very consistent this season in showing his leadership. Josh Hurd to start the season, and then we've obviously missed him through his injury, so it's good for him to make his way back at the right time for us. And then Kunle as well is consistency, but I think the biggest one in the last few matches has been Sean Young. I think he's been excellent in terms of his consistency, what he's brought to our group, the stability and the structure without the ball, with the ball, the confidence that he's playing and attacking the games with. It shows his growth. And also just his mentality to want to keep in the standards, the winning standards and the standards of our club being in the playoffs every season. He didn't want to let that pass, as our team didn't and our staff didn't, but he's really helped push us over the line. So, we've shown a lot of development in him.
Just this season, you mentioned it's been ups and downs. It's been a bit of a weird year at times. It feels like there's games where you guys have defended really well, but then the goal doesn't come. You're not really attacking. Maybe there are games where you go for a more attacking style than you maybe give up a few. How do you ensure in a one-off playoff game you're maybe drawing on both versions of Pacific FC?
The best version of ourselves. That's what we need. We need to attack with confidence in the way that we've been playing going forward, but also defend really well and be compact and be organized and follow the tactical match plans that we've been setting out to do. Armando saw my assistant spends a lot of time on the defensive organization and trying to set up the right way and how we want to press and how we want to defend in different areas of the pitch, which at times this season we've been very good at, like you say, but not losing our attacking identity as well. So finding that balance, but I think we've been doing that the last few matches, so not much changes.
Just lastly, on playing York United, it seems like you guys have a bit of a history between these clubs. You played in the playoffs last year, you played in the Canadian Championship, and then just 2 weeks ago, you were down 1-0 with 10 minutes to play. Riyad Moore comes in and scores twice to almost save the season in some ways. What have you noticed about playing them? Obviously that game's fresh in your mind. What are some of the priorities when you go into a game like that?
Maybe it's something's growing there, but I think York's done a good job of playing young players in the previous years. With the new coach coming in, more I think he's improved the team and the way they've played this season for sure, and they're fighting and they're showing ambition to grow and fight for more. And we're a club that's been consistently playing young players and performing well and getting into playoffs year on year. And we also have an ambition of wanting to be a top team in this league. So I think you have two teams trying to fight and push and challenge and stay up with Forge, so to speak, and Calvary obviously again pushing and ending up in second place in the league table. So we don't want to give that any edge or advantage to York. We need to keep our keep our standard, keep our edge, and keep fighting for that.
Absolutely. Pacific, again, at York United on Wednesday night, 7:30 local, 4:30 Pacific. Get tickets if you're in Toronto, but if you're on the West Coast watching this, make sure you tune in on One Soccer.